Hi everyone, welcome to my video walkthrough of my Google site about self-publishing. And in this video, I'll explain how I created the site, walk through each section of the project, and also show you how I gathered and presented my data. So first, in creating the site, I built it using Google Sites, which is a free web-based tool that makes it easy to create websites without needing to code. And I also use just different built-in layouts, text, images, links, all that stuff that Google Sites provides. And I organized each section by creating new pages, as you can see at the top. And then compared to writing a site from scratch with HTML and CSS, Google Sites is a lot simpler and faster, but it does have less design flexibility, whereas HTML and CSS allows for more custom styling and animation. However, though, it does take longer and requires a lot more technical knowledge to use it. And then for storage, editing, and access, the site is stored in my Google Drive and it's tied to my whole Google account. So I can edit it anytime in a browser, and any changes are just saved automatically. And once it's published, anyone with the link can access the site online, and you can always republish whenever you make new edits. And then for a lot of my graphics, I've found a lot on Google image search, and I also resized and positioned them using the different built-in tools for easy formatting. However, some of them, like my little logo and things like that, I created myself. And then, so first on the home page, just a little overview of self-publishing. Um, Self-publishing is the logistics of basically publishing your own book without the help of any publishing company or agent. And it means that the author of the book is responsible for all aspects of publishing, such as cover design, pricing, formatting, selling the book, all that kind of stuff. Now for the impacts page. So the first question B, explain a benefit and or harmful effect of the innovation. Self-publishing really promotes culture by giving writers to the chance to share their stories without being blocked by any agents or publishers who may not believe there's a market for their book. And it also gives authors full creative control, so their message stays authentic and intact. Question C, explain the impact that the innovation has had on society, economy, and or culture. Um, so for culture, it increases representation and diversity in literature, and economically, it also creates new opportunities for authors to sell directly. And this just boosts any independent economic activity outside of the large publishing companies. And then question D, another field this innovation has impacted is education. Teachers and scholars can publish their own textbooks or materials that can be tailored for their specific classes. And this just makes learning more affordable and accessible, and it supports a wider range of voices in educational content. And then also on this impacts page, I included a video demonstrating how two Australian authors had major success using Kindle Direct Publishing to self-publish their stories, and it just shows how self-publishing is a very efficient and beneficial way to get your story out there, and just you can have much more success rather than using an agent or a publishing house. And then down here as well, I added 2 different infographics I found. One about the advantages of self-publishing, as well as the myths versus facts, because there's a lot of myths about self-publishing. So this visualization just debunks those myths. Um, and then into the technical aspects for question E, for user interaction with self-publishing, authors can write and edit their book, design the cover, and choose a publishing platform like Kindle Direct Publishing or Ingram Spark. There's also Lulu. There's a bunch of them, and upload their content and set the pricing. And they can also promote their work online, and sales happen through the platform. So authors can really earn royalties that are often much higher than through traditional publishing. And then lastly, question F. Describing how the innovations technology incorporates like any of the big ideas of abstraction, algorithms, etc. It really relies heavily on the internet, and platforms like Kindle Direct Publishing provide tools to upload, format, and distribute authors' books globally. And the internet also enables marketing through social media and websites, while print on demand reduces costs and waste, making it efficient and accessible. And now back to the impacts page. I also created a survey on Google Forms, and this automatically collected responses and organized them in a Google Sheet. And I then used the built-in chart tool to visualize how people feel about self-publishing, and it gave me a lot of insights into the public perception and help support my findings from the survey. And then also on this page, I created my own infographic, and this infographic essentially explains the societal impact of self-publishing, and it highlights that self-publishing as a whole is largely seen as mostly positive, especially among older individuals. Um, and however, it also notes that it fosters creative empowerment and cultural potential, despite some uneven influence and concerns about misinformation. And then back to the technical aspects page one more time. I also just included a little video about how to self-publish your book using one of the platforms called Ingram Spark, just to give some insight into a way to self-publish your own book for anyone who's interested. And then lastly, the references page. Um, I use several online sources throughout my site, and it explained like the specific page explains just every single reference that I used, and each one has the currency, relevance, and authority, accuracy, and purpose for each source. And there's 9 sources total. So in conclusion, thank you for watching my walkthrough. I hope this gave you a clearer picture of how self-publishing works and just how I use Google Sites to organize and share my research. And feel free to explore the site yourself to learn more. Thank you.